Assalamualaikum everyone. Welcome to biology online class. This is Salma Sweetie. In this video today I am going to discussing about blood and heart associated diseases. At first, let's know about blood pressure. What is blood pressure? Blood pressure is the pressure of blood against the wall of arteries. You have already known about arteries that carries oxygenated blood. And when blood flows in this tube-like structure, blood gives pressure against its wall, and that pressure is called blood pressure. When heart muscles contract, that is known as systole, the pressure gets highest and it is called systolic pressure. When heart muscles relaxes, it is called diastole, and the pressure then get lowest, it is called diastolic pressure. The ideal blood pressure of a human being at adult age is the systolic pressure is 120 millimeter hertz and diastolic pressure is 80 millimeter hertz. And the blood pressure is measured by a machine that is known as sphygmomanometer. You can call it blood pressure machine or BP machine. Hypertension is one of the most concerned thing in this world now. What is hypertension? When blood pressure raises from the ideal range, that is 120 to 80, the condition is called high blood pressure or hypertension. The causes behind the hypertension is it can be caused genetically, that is if father or mother have hypertension, the offspring or the child can be affected. And as the name is hypertension, this is due to high tension, and high tension also can cause hypertension. And smoking is always injurious to health, and it can also cause hypertension. High body weight, intake of excess salt and fat, and diabetes is the master of all diseases, and it also increase the risk of hypertension. And high cholesterol, it is bad for our health and it also causes hypertension. So what are the symptoms of hypertension? Headache, neck pain, palpitation, rising palpitation, vertigo, weakness, bleeding from nose, insomnia, that is sleeplessness, and fatigue. These are all the symptoms of hypertension. How can we prevent hypertension? If we want to prevent hypertension, we should take balanced diet and our weight should be in control, regular exercise, and always no smoking. And another blood disease is high cholesterol. Cholesterol is an organic molecule. It is a sterile type of lipid, that is a fat component. Here in this figure you are seeing this yellow fat like, this is cholesterol in the blood. You have cholesterol in your blood and your liver is making the cholesterol. You can also take cholesterol during you intake food like meat, red meat, milk, egg, etc. There are three types of cholesterol. And cholesterol exists in our blood as lipoproteins. 3 types. First one is low density lipoprotein that are bad for our health, and that's why called bad cholesterol. High density lipoprotein that is good for our health, that's why called good cholesterol. And another one is triglycerides, that when we eat fatty foods, that will be metabolized or in our body through digestion, and it will give rise to triglycerides. Cholesterol is present in every cell of the body and has important natural functions. That is, they are important for our body functions or our living. It contributes to the structure of cell wall. That is, in our cell wall there is cholesterol, and cholesterol regulates the permeability of our cell wall. That is, permeability means what components can pass between the cell wall and inside the cell wall, outside the cell wall. This is permeability, and cholesterol regulates the permeability of cell wall, and it makes some bile acids that is required for our digestion, and it allows the body to produce vitamin D, because in presence of sunlight, cholesterol is converted to vitamin D, and it enables the body to make some certain hormones such as estrogen. And all the fatty foods are required for the fat soluble vitamins to dissolve and to be accepted in our body. But cholesterol is both good and bad. At normal levels, it is an essential substance for our body. However, if the concentration in the body gets too high, it becomes a silent danger that puts people at risk for coronary heart disease and a cause of heart attack. That is very familiar to us. And accumulation of fat in the coronary artery of the heart reduces blood circulation, that causes chest pain. This condition is called angina. And in this figure you are seeing, this is the blood artery, and this yellow color, these are cholesterol, and they get accumulated in the pipe and they are blocking the pathway of blood. So what is the range of or how amount cholesterol is allowed in our body? In adults, total cholesterol levels less than 200 milligrams per deciliter are considered healthy, and a reading between 200 to 239 milligram per deciliter is borderline high, and a reading of 240 milligram per deciliter and above is considered high. Low density lipoprotein cholesterol levels should be less than 100 milligram per deciliter. And what causes this high cholesterol? Intake of excess fatty foods, obesity, diabetes, liver and kidney disease, pregnancy, underactive thyroid gland, that is, thyroid gland is working slowly or less active, and some drugs that can increase the low density lipoprotein, that is harmful for our health. Another blood related disease is leukemia. Leukemia is caused due to the irregularities in bone and blood and bone marrow. Leukemia can be referred as excess leukocyte in blood, and it is called the cancer of blood. You already know that cancer is the abnormal division of any kind of cell, that is abnormal presence of any cell. And leukemia is called cancer of blood, and here abnormal formation and multiplication of white blood cells from bone marrow happens. Although this is called a cancer, but it is actually malfunctioning of blood production, causes as white blood cell is producing higher amount, it causes less production of red blood cells and platelets, and low red blood cell ultimately results in oxygen deficiency in blood, as red blood cells carry oxygen throughout our body, and platelets are responsible for blood coagulation. And if there is low platelets, abnormal bleeding can occur. So here in this figure you are seeing this is a normal blood cell components, and this is a leukemia patient's blood cell components. And here is red blood cell in the highest amount, and here is red blood cell very low, and white blood cell blue colored, they are in very high amount. Although there is many more white blood cells, but they are actually not effective, or they are not active. They can't do the prevention of diseases. That is the primary function of these leukocytes. And what are the symptoms of leukemia? That is shortness of breath, weakness, reddish portion. The skin is due to blood release inside the skin, as platelets doesn't work, and swelling and inflammation of leg joints, immunodeficiency, swollen lymph nodes, and persistent fever. These are the symptoms. And finally, let's know about heart attack. Heart attack is very familiar to us, all of us. When does heart attack occur? When blood clotting in heart arteries stops blood circulation and results in myocardial infarction or coronary thrombosis or heart attack. That is, heart attack has two other names, myocardial infarction and coronary thrombosis. There are 3 coronary arteries in our heart, and these coronary arteries supplies oxygen and nutrition to the heart itself. And if there is blockage due to the fat accumulation, it causes obstacle in blood flow, and blood flow is stopped and heart attack occurs. So what are the causes of heart attack? They are overweight, diabetes, unhealthy diet, adult life, depression, anxiety, etc. What symptoms are seen before the heart attack? Severe chest pain, pressure on chest, and rapid sweating. How can we get rid of heart attack? Avoid smoking, and obviously changing our food habit. What measures can be taken to keep our heart healthy? First one is proper lifestyle, that is balanced diet, balance food and selection of right food, strict prevention of drug and alcohol addiction, that is also lifestyle, and always avoiding